Well, it breaks my heart when anybody, especially a family or friend, calls me and tells me my phone broke, my phone died, it got lost. How do I get my pictures back? Has this ever happened to you? Hmm? It happens more often than you think. If you have access physically to the phone, sometimes it's possible to recover the data in the phone. If it fell in a lake, if it, went in down a sewer or it got stolen, it's a little more complicated than that. In most cases, if you're a tech savvy person and you've been able, in case of an iOS device, iCloud, or in the case of Android, you're generating a backup or you're trusting Google with your data, say in Google Drive or Google Photos, well, everything should be safe and recoverable. You can recover it. That said, with the pictures, unless you're paying Google some money, the backup of your pictures is a smaller version of your pictures. So if you have a phone with a 10, 12 megapixel camera and you're taking a lot of pictures and video, Google backs it up in 2 megapixel format size. So just keep that in mind. So, the purpose of this video is, do you have a backup? Do you back up your pictures on your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop, on your computer? If you're a business owner, do you back up your business machine, your business computers if you have more than one? If you have employees, if you have a server, do you back up all your data? Well, if you don't back it up, you run the risk of losing the data, right? So that's why I have Wikipedia back here, backup. You should have a backup of your data, right? If you have family as well, wife, kids, and they use it for, most people don't carry a camera around anymore. So they use their phones for video and for pictures. And if you're not paying for extra storage, some of it is not being backed up. And if something happens to those devices, you will lose them. Again, can you live without that information? Can you live without your photos, your videos? Can your family live without them, right? If you answer yes, they can live without them, don't worry, this is not for you. But if you treasure those memories, or if you have a baby, a family that's growing up and you want to preserve those memories, I suggest you have a backup. So keep in mind that this is the purpose of this video. Ask yourself, do you have a backup? Yes or no. If you don't have a backup, do you need one? Well, for most people who are just starting in the world of computers and they have a computer at home or a laptop, they may not have a lot of data to back up. So it could be as simple as going to Amazon and buying, excuse me, a 32 gigabyte drive USB 2 for $8. And if you have Prime, it ships for free. So if you don't have a lot of data, this could be all you need. And you can buy two of them so you can rotate them and keep one in a safe place, say like a fireproof safe and the other one handy. You can step up for a 64 gig if you have a little more data. It's $9.99, not a big difference. I remember the first 128 megabyte, hear this, 128 megabyte USB flash drive I bought for who was at the time my boss, cost, I believe, $109. This is a long time ago. And $9.99 gets you 64 gigs. I'm talking about 128 megabytes was over $100 back then. You can step up if you have a faster computer or a newer machine. You can get a USB 3, 128 gigs for just $24. And if you have an even newer machine, for $26, you get a USB 3.1. Even as a business owner, if you don't have a backup strategy, you could use flash drives to back up individual machines. Not recommended because managing is not as easy, but if you have 2 or 3 machines, maybe that's possible, but it requires a lot of extra thinking and you may not want to dedicate that time to it and just dedicate it to your business, right? Focus on your business. Don't worry about those things. Make sure they happen automatically, like backups. Say you have a little more data to back up. You've been around for a while. You have a lot of pictures, photos, videos, documents. Well, again, a USB 4 terabyte drive, USB 3 is $89.99. I don't know if you're familiar with zip drives. Back in the day, zip drives were not as expensive, but a zip drive without disks was over $100, right? And they can only store either 100 or 250 megs. So just to give an idea. And if you need even more data than this, that's my phone. For $65, you can get a 2 terabyte USB 3 portable drive. So this is if you don't want something that's sitting on your desk. And if you want 4 TB, 89.99. It's a setup which is a larger disk. It has USB drive, so you can back up keys to it. So you have more of a central location. So if you're an individual, I think I made myself clear. If you're not backing up your data, either paying somebody. If you have iOS devices, you can pay for iCloud, and they store your photos for yourself and your family. I believe $1. This is March 2019. 2019. I believe right now Apple is charging $1.99 for a family plan for 200 gigs. So that's pretty decent. For $24 a year, you get 200 gigs of storage for yourself and your family members who you care to share that iCloud with. So it's not bad. It doesn't store everything. You got to understand, when you back up your iOS device, it's backing up a lot of data, but not everything. So just keep that in mind. It's still better to make backup on your computer, right? And if you use it for your business, I encourage you to do a backup through iTunes, encrypt the backup. That way, when you restore, everything, passwords, and all settings are saved. If you have Android devices, you can pay Google for Google Drive. I don't remember the pricing right now, but it's pretty close. I think it's a little more expensive than Apple. And again, it doesn't back up everything. It backs up a lot of things, but not everything. And if you don't pay them, remember, they only give you 15 gigs free for full resolution photos. If you don't pay them, the resolution of the photos is kept to 2 megapixels. So keep that in mind. If your pictures or video are important to you, you want to have full resolution, you have to pay them. Now, if you're a business owner, right? Same scenario, same thing. If you're not backing up your devices, can you live without the data in your devices? Can you live without the data on your phone, tablet? A lot of people use it for business nowadays. For your computer, your laptop, if the hard drive dies on them, or if you drop your device and it breaks, or if your phone goes down the toilet, happens, believe me. I read a statistic that in the UK, I believe 2 million phones fell in the toilet. This is a couple of years ago. This is not now. This is every year. So just keep that in mind. Although some phones are now waterproof, still, if it falls down a lake or the sea or the ocean, you may not be able to find it depending on how far you are out in the water, right? And believe me, I had a friend who was out on vacation overseas, was on a boat, brand new phone, copied all the data to it, fell in the ocean. Never saw it again. I think it was something like a week old. He bought it because it had a nice camera. All right, so if you're a business owner, it's a little more serious too, because your business depends on your data. So there are ways of backing up your business. Carbonite is one of them. They give you data solutions to back up. You have Amazon Drive. You have Backblaze. And again, Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, and iCloud. Again, all these services, you're trusting your data to that company. You're trusting them to keep it safe. And for the most part, they do a good job. But say, for example, your computer dies, your laptop dies while you're at work and you need that data. Okay, so you can, sign on to another machine and retrieve the data. But what if the internet is down? Murphy's Law, when something, if something can go wrong, it goes wrong. So it would be better. I'm all for having a copy, an encrypted copy of your data somewhere on the cloud. But you should have a local copy of your data in case the internet goes down. You have it accessible over your network. And that's when I recommend something a little, it may represent a little more expense up front, but it also provides you with redundancy, quick access to your data. And if you don't have heavy needs, if you for your business, you need help sizing up a NAS, say you don't have a backup strategy, you can contact me. I can help you with that. If you have less than 5 employees, I don't see why you would need anything more than a DS218, plus you need to buy drives. But it is an amazing machine, an amazing appliance that provides backup for all your machines, as long as you have the storage space for it. It offers continuous backup, versioning of your files. It can back up Office 365. It can back up Google Apps. So the data in them anyway. So if something catastrophic goes down, you can go back to your Synology and retrieve all the data. And if you have multiple Synologies, you can sync them across different locations. You can encrypt the folders. You can share content with it. If you're a professional photographer or just a hobby and you need more storage to save your pictures, it allows you to do that. It allows you to share with others. It allows you to set time limits for how long people can share and view. It has a Moments application similar to Google Photos. It allows you to replicate almost all those functions that it recognizes people, groups them together, places, events, etc. It is a fantastic machine. I'll make another video about that. But I'm a fan because I like them. This is not sponsored. So just remember, if you're an individual, can you live with your data? Can your family live without their data? Pictures and videos especially. Remember, if you have a baby, you want to see those pictures of him or her growing up. If you have a business, what happens if my laptop hard drive dies or my computer hard drive dies? How do I get that back right away? If you need help with a backup, get in touch with me. But please back up your data. You think you think it's not important, you think you can't live with it. If you can take a hammer to your phone right now or your laptop or any device and get it to this condition where it doesn't work, and you're okay with it, you don't care, because say you're going to get rid of it and you don't care that you do that and you don't care about the data, okay, then maybe you don't need a backup. But most people, they only think about their pictures or their video when something happens to their device. Don't let that happen to you. Think ahead, back up everything that you can, back it up. Don't go crazy. Don't be backing up data that you don't need, because then it becomes like like if you keep things at home, things that you don't need. So again, please back up. If I get through to you today, please back up your phone, back up your tablet, your laptop, your Chromebook, your desktop, back up your data somehow. So when disaster strikes, you have access to it and you're not going to be worried about, what happened to the memories and to your business documents. Again, this is Carlos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking. I have to say, I've made this video, I think now 11 or 12 times, because something always went wrong. I used a different computer. It was dropping frames. I was getting a lot of echo. I finally figured what the problem was. I found out that this particular camera, Logitech, have some problem with OBS, so they tend to run up the processor a little too high. So I apologize. I should have had this a week or so ago, and I did have it. I have a bunch of videos that are all messed up. But again, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. But please, just remember, out of this video, back up your data, please. And if you need help, get in touch with me and see what we can do. Okay, have a great day.